Good morning, Angela Yee.
Good morning, DJ Abby.
Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. It's Friday.
Yes, it's Friday.
Thank goodness. It's Friday.
Had a long week.
A long week.
Can't wait for the weekend.
I got to work all weekend anyway, but I'm just happy that I get some sleep. I don't got to wake up early in the morning.
I wish my black ass would work on the weekend.
But you know what? I wake up early on the weekend
Not
anyway.
as early as you do for work in the morning.
I wake up about 6 a.m. every weekend, Saturday, Sunday.
Sleeping into me.
Yeah, that's not early for us, brother.
Yeah, I get up at like 4 in the morning. If I get up at 6,
early.
that's actually 2 extra hours.
We're waking up 4 o'clock in the morning every day for the past 8 years. Okay? Because of the Breakfast Club. Thank God.
You about 6 a.m. and then
6 a.m. is awesome.
It still sucks because the whole house is sleeping and you're the only one up.
Why you up at 6 a.m.?
I don't know. My body just gets me up at 6. I just can't go back to sleep.
You gotta pee.
Man, I gotta pee now. I just get up at 6 a.m.
Okay.
But it allows me to do stuff around the house while everybody's sleeping, because that's sometimes some of the best times. Everybody's out. You can do whatever you need to do. That's some of the best times.
I do that on the weekend now, though, because I'm working on my second book. And that's what I do. I wake up every Saturday morning or like Sunday morning, like real early, and I get to writing.
Nice.
Yep.
And it's nice and quiet.
Well, we got a lot going on this morning up here.
We got a nice balance this morning.
Well, first of all, I just want to say Charlamagne killed someone yesterday.
Who did I kill?
The founder of Toys R Us, but we'll talk about that.
No, y'all killed the founder of Toys R Us with all that online shopping. Broke that man's heart because that company went bankrupt. And he was 94 years old, so it was about time for him to clock out anyway.
My goodness. Well, as I was saying, 6IX9INE will be joining us this morning.
Okay.
Explain to the people who 6IX9INE is for those who may not know.
He's a rapper from Brooklyn. He has rainbow hair and he likes to start ish.
Real tough guy, so I've heard.
Well, I was out and about yesterday,
So he says.
And everywhere I went, people were like, so I see you have Tekashi 6IX9INE on the show tomorrow, so what happened in the interview? What's happening? What's going on? What did he say?
What happened?
I don't know.
What happened?
I don't know, but everybody was very interested in that particular interview.
Well, that happens next hour. And also, Roxanne Shante will be joining us.
That's right, gotta balance it out. We got something new with Tekashi 6IX9INE and something classic with Roxanne Shante.
And that movie is on Netflix right now.
Right now, you can watch it right now.
And Roxanne's not alone. She has the young lady Shantae Adams who plays her in the Roxanne movie on Netflix. She'll be with her as well. So it's a nice balance, perfect balance of ratchetness and righteousness this morning. Okay?
All right, well, let's get the show cracking. Front page news. We'll tell you about the Toys R Us founder and more, so don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Now, let's talk about the Toys R Us founder.
Yes, the founder of Toys R Us, Charles Lazarus, he was 94 years old. He no longer held a stake in the chain.
He definitely grew up,
But he started the company back in 1948 when he was only 25 years old. And Toys R Us tweeted out there, but many sad moments for Toys R Us in recent weeks, and none more heartbreaking than today's news about the passing of our beloved founder, Charles Lazarus. Our thoughts and prayers are with Charles's family and loved ones.
Online shopping killed that man. Online shopping bankrupted Toys R Us, which caused that man to die, but he was 94 years old. He grew up.
There was a lot of stress,
it was competition from Walmart and Target as well. So
don't blame Walmart and Target for his death.
There was a lot of stress, I'm sure. I'm sure Walmart and Target had a lot to do with it.
He was
94 years old, and he also no longer had a stake in the company anyway.
94, I'm cool. The only way I would want to stick around at 94 is because I'm like, damn, I might as well make it down 100. That's a nice even 100. Call it a day.
But just imagine, you're 94 and you're something that you built just says bankrupt and closing. That might give you a little stress.
I don't care about money at that point, mother.
Listen, he thrived for a long time. Back in the 90s, it grew to an $11 billion business. He had some great years.
And I'm sure he got some money stacked away. His kids fine, his grandkids fine, great-grandkids fine. It'll be okay.
Now let's talk about Trump.
Yes, a former Playboy Playmate of the Year says that she had a 10-month affair with Donald Trump. Now, Karen McDougal sat down and did an interview with Anderson Cooper, and she talked about how they first met, their tryst. They met during the filming of The Apprentice back in June 2006 at the Playboy Mansion. She said she had unprotected sex with Donald Trump many dozens of times, and she felt like they were in love. But he did try to pay her for sex, and she was offended.
Why? He's a billionaire.
Check it out.
After we had been intimate, he tried to pay me. I actually didn't know how to take that.
Did he actually try to hand you money?
He did, and I said, I just had this look of, I don't even know how to describe it. The look in my face must have been so sad because I had never been offered money like that before, number one. But number two, I thought, does he think that I'm in this for money or why I'm here tonight? Or is this a normal thing? I didn't know, but I looked at him and I said, that's not me. I'm not that kind of girl. And he said, you're really special.
Who is this silly rabbit?
Karen McDougal.
First of all, why was wrong with offering a girl money after you have sex with her? Here's a little change, but
well,
you know, say buy yourself something nice.
They were in love. She said he always told me he loved me, and that he would call her baby and beautiful Karen. And she said that she would book her own flights and hotels in various cities across the country, and he would reimburse her. So that
what's the problem?
She said she also spent a lot of time with his bodyguard, who would drive her to and from their rendezvous spots, and she met all of his adult children, and he would tell her that she reminded him of Ivanka. And she also talked about knowing that he was married, so she actually apologizes to Melania for their affair. Here's what she said.
I never brought up his wife. He did once, and that's the only time I can remember when he said she was an intelligent woman. But other than that, he never talked about his wife, and I never brought her up. When I look back where I was back then, I know it's wrong. Like, I'm really sorry for that. I know it's a wrong thing to do. You know, when I got with him, there was a real relationship there. There were real feelings between the two of us, not just myself, not just him. And, you know, deep inside, I did have a lot of guilt, but I still continued.
So you had real feelings for a married man. The married man slept with you and tried to give you a little change afterwards, a little hush money, you know what I'm saying? A little, you know what, let's keep this between us. And you got a problem with that?
This is embarrassing. She also says that he would take her to his home at Trump Tower and pointed out Melania's room where she likes to have alone time.
And who is this embarrassing for? Because it's not embarrassing for Trump.
It's embarrassing for Melania.
Yes, it is. It's embarrassing for Trump, Melania.
Wow. It's embarrassing for his wife, really.
Donald Trump was a reality show star, celebrity playboy, and I'm supposed to be surprised that he had sex with a porn star?
That's embarrassing.
I think it's embarrassing for his wife.
A 10-year-old kid or something like that, a 12-year-old kid?
For his wife, that he actually had her in the house. But you know.
I've watched Donald Trump do a lot more embarrassing things over the past year.
Yeah, of course. Okay. But we're just talking about this particular situation.
All right.
This is what we're talking about now. So Karen McDougal, former Playboy model, and of course, the White House is denying that this ever took place.
Of course. All right. And that's front page news. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you're upset, you need to vent, hit us up right now. Maybe you had a bad night, bad morning, or maybe you just want to spread some positivity. 800-585-1051. Hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
How are y'all this morning?
Hey, Lexus.
Hey, y'all. Oh, my God. I'm ready to The Breakfast Club.
Good morning, Lexus. You know what kind of car your mama wanted when she was a kid, but couldn't afford?
Oh, my God. God, I'm so happy to hear y'all. Hey, Charlamagne.
What's up, boo?
Hey, boo. Hey, Lexus.
Get it off your chest, mama.
What part?
Aiken.
What's happening out there?
Get it off your chest, mama.
Yeah, huh?
Get it off your chest.
Oh, no, I was just calling to spread some positivity. I listen to y'all every morning. I love y'all show. Y'all doing y'all thing. Like, keep doing it.
We appreciate you, man. Salute to everybody
so
in Aiken.
Hello, who's this?
Yo, this is Jeff calling out of 757.
Hey, Jeff, get it off your chest, bro.
Alright, so I just started a new job, right? So I got this old head, man. He be mad, hating. Because the boss told me I could leave 15 minutes early. So he be mad. So every day, he pull up on me like, yeah, you know you ain't supposed to leave at 6 o'clock. I'm like, so why you outside then? I'm going to mind his business, man. Let me do me, man. I'm young. I'm trying to get this money, man.
Why don't you tell him that? Why don't you be like, look, man, I'm trying to get this money, man. Leave me alone.
Because I'm scared he going to tell him that I just started the job.
Oh,
so why you leave 15 minutes early?
Why you leave early anyway?
The supervisor told me I could. I'm doing such a good job. You know what I'm saying? You can clock out 15 minutes early. Just go ahead and go.
Okay.
Well, tell the old head that. Let him know that, you know, you get to leave early because of good behavior.
Hello, who's this?
What's up? It's your boy Nook from Roxbury.
What's up, bro? Get it off your chest.
Man, I'm just glad that no ether didn't come down to my way. I'm sick of shoveling, man.
You and me both, man. That snow is disgusting.
For real, man. I'm like, I gotta go to work in this. I gotta shovel 2 cars.
It's
in
amazing.
the sidewalk and the driveway.
It's amazing to me that people haven't figured out that is HARP and it's a weather machine, that they're controlling the weather, because you don't notice that it'll snow and then the very next day the sun will be out super bright, melting the snow.
Exactly. You know what's even funny? On my Facebook post, you know how you can go back for memories?
Yeah.
I went back on my memories and the exact same day we had the same release.
See?
I was like,
They ain't even trying to be surprising no more with the turning of the weather machine.
All right, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you're upset, you need to vent. Hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Man, this is G from the Brick City.
G, what's up, man?
Yeah, man, I'm calling because I'm mad because, you know, I remember there was a time when Charlamagne was real. and he would say nothing negative about Wendy Williams for the fact that she put him on. But ever since he's been getting a little money and he's successful, every chance he gets, it's like he's giving a low blow to damn near ready to snatch the wig right off her head.
What low blows, sir? Give me an example.
The other day you said she was on drugs. That's not verified that she was on drugs.
I didn't say she was. I didn't say she was on drugs. I said that it looks like she's on drugs. And I said that. You shouldn't even comment about it, because if it wasn't for her, you would be down south flipping burgers or working on a cotton field. How you know? She not God. I think God had a plan for me, sir. Regardless, but you're entitled to your opinion.
God's plan.
I don't think he'd be working on a cotton field though.
Yes, he would.
All right, have a good one, man.
Well, you get into your fast food restaurant this morning and you make sure them burgers are flipped right and them fries are fried hard, okay?
Hello, who's this?
Yeah, this is Keith from Brooklyn. I'm going to tell you where I'm blessed. I'm just happy to be alive this morning.
Okay. All right, enough said.
He wants to tell us why. That's it?
Yeah, man. But I don't listen every time to wake up.
All right.
All right, well, happy Friday. We're glad you're here and blessed.
That's many words. Hello, who's this?
Hey, this is D. How you doing? Good morning.
What's up, brother? Get it off your chest.
Yeah, I just want to get off my chest about the violence in this country with law enforcement, man. We got these people that are shooting up schools and airports, and they want to arrest them, but you commit a small crime, still a Snickers on a car window, they want to shoot you dead 20 times, you know what I mean?
Unbelievable.
Why is that?
Unbelievable. I was saying that yesterday, man. These white kids can shoot up a school and get arrested with no incident, but you break a car window in America, you get shot at 20 times if you black.
Yeah. You know, keep doing y'all thing, man. Y'all have a good morning.
Thank you, Thank you, man. Hello, who's this?
Yeah, John.
What's up, brother? Get it off your chest.
Yeah, I really got nothing to get on my chest. I just got a question for y'all.
Go ahead.
Out of DJ Envy and 6IX9INE, who embarrasses the borough the most?
Who embarrasses the what?
The borough the most. You know, Envy embarrassing them guys from cool. Acting on song. And Tekashi got all that. Flooded with Young Thug.
I think your mother embarrasses the
Answer the question.
When you want to tell when you're in school, you be like, what's up with your mother?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Envy probably embarrasses Queens more than Tekashi embarrasses Brooklyn.
I don't think so. Hello, who's this?
What's up, Envy?
What's up, Trav?
From one queen to another.
Oh, God. Hey,
Hi, Trav. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Hey, Charlamagne.
What up, sis? What's happening?
I'm chilling. I just called to say I'm blessed this morning because I was sitting at my desk yesterday and just trying to find some new music to listen to. And I stumbled across Snoop Dogg gospel album.
Oh, you like it?
Really good.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to listen to that this weekend. Thank you, Trav, for that.
Are you saying that just because it's a gospel album? It's not like anybody ever says gospel is whack. Who you ever heard say that gospel song is whack?
No. This is actually I was pleasantly surprised. He even has a John P. Key, Mary J. Not Mary J. Blige, Mary, and there's a bunch of different gospel artists that I enjoy, and it's a pleasantly surprising album.
I'm gonna check it out, man. Salute to Snoop Dogg. I gotta get Snoop Dogg some AACA clothing. I saw him talking about it on his GGN show. I gotta get him some of that.
Well, thank you, Trav, for that musical advice and review for us this morning.
Thank you, Trav.
But I want y'all to have a great weekend, except the Barbs, because Nicki Minaj released some trash the other day, won't shoot her.
Oh my God.
Have a great day.
You're so petty.
Trav, you go ahead.
All right, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. We got rumors on the way?
Yes, we are going to talk about a hip-hop artist who's pretty legendary, and he's going to be retiring, and then we'll tell you about a new biography that's being announced by another artist.
Okay, we'll get into all that when we come back. Keep it locked. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club.
Happy goddamn Friday. What's happening?
Let's get to these rumors. Let's find out which rap is about to retire.
Jeezy has said that his next album will be his last album. He went on Twitter and said, as the Cold Summer Tour comes to an end, it was inspiring seeing my day one fans since my first album and Class, Thug Motivation 101, come out every night. Now Class is coming to an end. It's time for graduation, my last album and final Class. Thug Motivation 104, trust your process.
I have a top 7 favorite rappers of all time. Jeezy is definitely on that top 7. But I don't believe no rapper when they say they retire.
Nah, I don't think he's gonna retire.
I don't even know why they say things like that.
I'm gonna do a Jeezy mix this morning though.
I have no problem with a Jeezy mix. I just told you he's one of my top 7 favorite rappers of all time.
But I don't think he's gonna retire.
He's not retiring. No.
Wow. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, or you know what people say that maybe it's just his last album because people don't have to put out full.
Yeah, they can put out singles. They can put out Lucy's. Yeah. I think the forecast will always call for snow. Let's call Byron Allen since he just bought the Weather Channel. He can tell us that if snows in the forecast.
All right, let's talk about that because Byron Allen did buy the Weather Channel for $300 million.
Dropping a clues bomb for Byron Allen. Byron's been out here balling though. If you know, you know. Like, he's been out here balling, been out here executive producing a bunch of television shows. He's got a huge production company. Like, he's been out here getting money.
Yeah, so FYI, that's what they are saying. That I mean, what more can you say?
But I guess he's not what y'all call hot. He's not necessarily hot.
Now, Instagram says they are going to fix the worst thing about its algorithm. You know how you hate on Instagram when you go and look on there and stuff pops up from 3 days ago and you're like, why is this showing up on my feed first like it's recent news? People were very upset about it, but yesterday they did announce they're putting new changes to the algorithm, so it's going to prioritize newer posts in your feed, so the number of old posts that appear when you open up the app won't show up anymore. That really does bother me.
Is there any such thing as an old post on Instagram? I mean, I know there's an old post, based on when you posted, but what if you've never seen it before? Because I know I be seeing stuff that I haven't seen, but
sometimes you'd rather see something that's more recent. Like you see something from 3 days ago. I like
it actually because, like I said, I missed a lot of stuff, and they'd be like, "This was 22 hours ago." I'm like, "Oh,
I just like good content."
You could go back and look on that person's page, but I'd rather see what's more recent. That's all. So I'm glad that they're doing that because it kind of feels like the feed should show what's the most recent thing. All right, Kendrick Lamar is going to be having a book out, a biography. It's called The Butterfly Effect. How Kendrick Lamar Ignited the Soul of Black America, and it's written by Pitchfork contributor Marcus J. Moore. Now, he posted some big news I've been eager to share. I've signed with Touchstone Books to write the cultural biography of Kendrick Lamar. So it's going to detail his rise to rap superstardom.
Dropping a clue bomb for Touchstone, damn it. That's the book label that pays me.
Now, I'm hoping that Kendrick is going to actually participate in this biography because he doesn't have to. Usually people write a book, so hopefully he's involved in it as well. That always makes it better.
I want to read that because Pimp a Butterfly is an album that I liked when it came out, but I really fell in love with it last year. And I always say that album is what sparked the new black consciousness in music. That's what me personally, that's what I believe.
All right, now Amber Rose is going to be on Big Boy's Neighborhood this morning.
Big Boy?
Yes.
Dropping the clues bombs for Big Boy, damn it. That's my guy.
And you know she's besties with Black China, so she has to defend her best friend, right? And it is Freaky Friday, so check out what she had to say about Black China and that sex tape that came out.
If you think Black China don't know how to suck it, you got her all the way up. Give oral. You know, sometimes it's a cute little, nothing OD, and sometimes you OD on it, right? You think that she really is incapable of going ham on a D?
Whoa, Amber talking like her and Black China then tag teams and somebody's meet together.
You gotta defend your friend.
Either that or they've been in the room with each other while they was both getting it in. You can't speak on somebody's fellatio game with that much confidence unless you've seen her in action. So if Amber says Black China can suck a runners, I believe her.
All right, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your rumor report.
Listen, friends don't let friends get whack fellatio.
That's a friend.
Ladies, don't waste my time and yours with whack fellatio. Please, we all got better things to do with our time.
That is a
friend. Not that it matters to you.
What? A woman giving whack fellatio?
Yeah.
I got a wife, you know.
I know, that's the only person that matters.
Ain't no days
that's the
off.
only person that matters.
Ain't no days off. None. All right? I can't take no days off. All right? I got to be down there with my jaw hurting, getting squirted on in the chest. All right? So, hey.
Those are the great things in life.
Hey, man, I love it.
All right.
All right.
We all haven't had breakfast yet.
Now, when we come back, Tekashi 6IX9INE will be joining us.
Oh, God.
Charlamagne.
What?
Explain to the people who Tekashi 6IX9INE is.
I really don't know who Tekashi 6IX9INE is. Okay.
He's a rapper from Brooklyn. You probably seen him. He has rainbow hair. He's always beefing online, and we're going to talk to him next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building, Tekashi 6IX9INE.
You know that.
Yo, Tekashi 6IX9INE, what's happening, my brother?
It's everything, man. Everything.
How'd you get the name Tekashi 6IX9INE? Let's start from there.
Man, I don't want to start there. I want to start somewhere else.
You want to jump right into it?
I want to jump right into this.
Oh, let's go.
Get that juicy, man. You know what I'm saying?
What you want to start with?
Start with whatever you want to start with.
All right. Well, there's been a lot of issues, like we said, and you said the hip hop police have been bothering you. We've been seeing a lot of things with you online.
Why are you causing all these problems for yourself, sir?
I don't cause no problem, man. You know what I'm saying? I address them. That's me. I'm the hottest artist in the city, and I'm coming on here now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
you're not the hottest in the city, though.
Hottest in the city.
You're not hotter than Cardi B.
Nah, Cardi B doing her. You know what I'm saying? Cardi B is different. Shout out Cardi B. Cardi B, it's a relationship. You know what I'm saying? With more publicity. What she got? The Bodak Yellow song.
Yeah, no more record in the country. You know what, 3 top 10s.
Body of
SNL next week.
I'm the hottest artist in the city.
No, you're not.
I'm definitely the hottest artist in the city.
No.
All right, but let's talk about the credentials and why you say that.
Every song I put out makes Billboard Top 100. I don't get no cosigns. I don't got no G-Eazy cosign. I don't got no Offset cosign. You know what I'm saying? Where like I'm self-made. I started it. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't have that in the beginning though. She had her 2 mixtapes out, and then Bodak Yellow was a song by herself. That's why it was such a big deal when she was #1. And she was the
what
first.
Did you say she had 2 what?
2 mixtapes.
My first project was top 5 Billboard debut.
She debuted on Billboard her mixtape.
Her second, my first one. You know what I'm saying? I don't got. It's not no competition. Like I said, shout out Cardi B. I'm the hottest artist in the city.
You're supposed to feel that way, though.
You definitely supposed to feel that way.
I know I am. And nobody gonna take that from me. That's why I feel like I'm most hated. You know what I'm saying? Everyone wants to come for me. How many people came for me? How many people? A lot. Why? Because I'm the hottest artist. And nobody ever gonna take.
You don't think telling people to suck your dick online got anything to do with it too?
Nah, I tell them to suck my dick every day.
You know. My father used to always say, if you tell somebody to suck your dick, man, you got to be ready to either kill or die.
And I'm ready to die, and I'm ready to kill.
Jesus Christ, that's not what we want, Tekashi.
Listen to me. My thing is, right, look, this is the way I look at it, right? I look at it, if I could walk around and say I'm the king of New York, right? Don't you think somebody would have done something by now?
Give it some time.
Give it some time?
Yeah.
How much time?
I don't know, but I don't think that you should.
That is a lifetime.
I don't think you should be bringing that kind of energy on yourself.
But listen, I'm gangster. I know I'm gangster. I know. I tell everybody all the time, test my gangster, right?
Oh God.
Not listen to me. I tell everybody, test my gangster. A lot of people don't like me, but you know what I'm saying. I'm not here to fit in. My message is to be yourself, and I'm always myself. I always push that message to be yourself and embrace yourself, who you are. Listen, I'm a kid with rainbow hair, right? I'm a kid with rainbow teeth.
What does that mean?
How am I shaking up the industry like I am, man? It's not supposed to happen. Nobody run down for a reason. I'm just saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't like me. A lot of people don't like my attitude. If you really get to know me and have a conversation with me, I'm a very humble, genuine dude.
It seems like you don't want people to like you.
Nah. Why you say that?
Because it seems like certain situations get blown out of proportion and you take it from 1 to 100.
Let's bring the situation up.
All right, like, let's talk about
Houston,
okay.
South by Southwest.
Okay.
Jay Prince.
Jay Prince Jr. is just Jay Prince Jr.'s birthday party. He's just saying, look, I don't even know you. I don't have no issue. I just know things that I heard, but you do have to check in and at least like show some respect. That's not a bad thing.
What happened in that situation with Jay Prince?
I don't know the homie. I remember we was in a sneaker store. It was a Saturday, I believe, right? We was in a sneaker store. A dude invited us to come, you know, show his shop some love, and he give some sneakers. You know what I'm saying? So boom, we in the sneaker store, and the dude comes up to me. The dude with the sneakers and is just like, yo, like, you know who's Jay Prince? And I'm like, I heard the name, like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, well, he's coming up. So at this time, it's just me and my friends. We in the sneaker store. So I see this dude walk in. When he walk in, I address it. You know what I'm saying? Because he coming with a mob of people.
His son, Jay Prince Jr., not the father.
Yeah, not the father, the son. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, I address him. I get up. I say, yo, what's poppin'? So the dude's like, yo, what's up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he took my energy coming off like, yo, this kid, like, he just came up to me. He don't come with his head down, bound down, like, you a regular dude. You breathe like I breathe. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what's poppin'? Go up to him, I go up to his mans and his whole mob, and I, you know, address them like, yo, spot him, like, but the energy wasn't on some like, oh,
it wasn't like, what's
it wasn't like, what's good, like,
it was just like,
it was like, what's good, but it was just like, he didn't even like, it was no, I didn't feel no static between us. I didn't feel no type of, it wasn't nothing. He didn't address nothing. God strike me dead, make me swallow my tongue when I'm talking to him, on my daughter. We was in the room for like, what, 30 minutes?
Or did the sneakers store?
Yeah. Son didn't buy no sneakers, didn't get nothing. He was just there. We was there for 30 minutes. Any problem thing he had, he could have addressed. But when I tell you, I was there, my man Shotty, my man Slash, my man Jack, they was a mob, blood, and they was strapped in the sneaker store. I'm just there, being myself. Like I always am.
And then you went to his birthday party.
Now that was Saturday, right?
Right.
I leave. I'm like, y'all got my sneakers. I leave. Once I leave, he leave. You know what I'm saying? So anything he wanted to say, he could have said to me. This is what people don't understand. I guess the next Sunday he had his birthday party with Youngster. You know what I'm saying? So he texts us like, he texts my man Shotty. He's like, yo, come to the club. Come to my birthday party. 12:15, no later. So I guess Shotty texted him like, we can't make it at 12:15. We definitely come through and show some love. So we go to the club like around 1:30. I guess when we get to the door, he said 12:15, no later. You know what I'm saying? But we texted him like, yo, we ain't making it at 12:15. So I guess it was a situation where he was like, nah, like, there's a situation we gotta address in private before we make it public.
Oh, so you wanted to have a conversation with you before you was in the club and take pictures?
Right, we could have had the conversation in the sneaker store. We could have had the conversation
You think he feel like you disrespected him in the sneaker store?
I don't know yo, blood, like I'm human, blood. Like, yo, if I came up to you, right, and I say, yo, what's good? And you tell me what's good. In front of all these people, blood, address the situation you got with me, blood. Don't wait till there's all your people here for you to get the battery in your back to be tough. Like, you know what I'm saying? Straight up. Like, so I guess we showed up to this party, sunset, like, yo, like, now let's address it. Boom. I'm like, when everyone knows that happened on Sunday of his birthday. If you go back and track it on the internet, it was posted Wednesday, 3 days later. That's clout chasing, blood. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody into that, blood. Like, you a grown ass man with kids, a family. You know what I'm saying?
Did you show up to your show in Houston?
Alright, so boom. I showed up. They just alright, so boom. Say Powerhouse, right? You book a headliner, which is like what, Future, you say? Like
The Weekend,
Future, right?
Whatever.
So when you booking just let's go with Future or something, alright? Say you booking Future, right? You book Future, but he's your headliner.
Right.
At the World Star Show in Austin, I'm the headliner. I'm the main event. Like, there's T Grizzly, Rich the Kid, YFN, Rollo, all that was the lineup. I'm the headliner. I'm leading the show. You know what I'm saying? You book a show at Powerhouse, right? Future's your headliner, right? You're the booking agent. You're the stage manager. You're this. What are you gonna do to make sure that you booked them? You the one that gotta pay him, right? Are you gonna make sure your main event is safe, like for them to perform and give the crowd what they want? Absolutely, right? So World Star's like, yo, we made sure we got you security, cause I'm like, yo, listen, this is me, like, you know what I'm saying? There's grown ass men marching the streets looking for me, like that drives me. Like, I got these niggas missing work. You know what I'm saying? They not taking care of their kids. They is marching the streets looking for a kid with rainbow hair. Like, how stupid could you look? Like, you know what I'm saying? Boom. Bottom line, Jay that runs World Star, right? He's like, yo,
my guy Jay.
Huh?
Say salute to Jay. That's a good dude.
Yeah, salute to Jay. Jay's like, yo, listen, you about to go on that 110, make it sure 110 I got security here. All this. I'll make it there. Boom. So the show comes. Shotty called me and said, yo, be safe. I love you. Make sure you prepared. Go in there. he said, yo, but take a look on the internet. Everyone's tagging me. So I go on the internet. The J Prince dude, right, is on the stage for Wallow set. Is on the stage for YFN set, for Lil Baby set, for Rich the Kid set, for YBN Namir set, for T Grizzly set. So I'm like, I call Jay back. I'm like, yo, blood, like you got these dudes that's ready to, you know what I'm saying, play with me and play with my money on the stage. He's like, nah, but I'ma clear him. I said, yo, so I'm your main event, right? Are you gonna guarantee my safety? You know what I'm saying, in the venue? It just started looking like a setup to me, you know what I'm saying? I said, yo, what's up with the security? Like, they allowing that, like, for them to be, how am I supposed to give your venue, your crowd a good performance, right? And I'm supposed to be looking over my back while I'm performing? And you know what I'm saying? I'm not about to get world starred on a world star stage, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a difference between being gangster and being stupid. Now listen to this. No, listen to this, right? I let my nuts hang, right? But am I gonna go against 100 niggas that wanna get me? Or be the smarter person and be like, stupid, I'm not gonna let you get the chance to world star me and violate me when I could be the bigger person and be like, you know what? Y'all couldn't guarantee my safety. Y'all know that I showed up. Jay know I showed up. But you can't guarantee my safety. Now listen to this, right? Now listen to this, right? You the type that you want to see controversy, so you gonna be like, go in there, you tough, right? No, I don't. Now, but listen to this, right? Like some people that say they walk in, I'm not gonna let you trick me into taking an L. I don't take no L's. That's why I think that's why people hate me, because I'm so arrogant and I'm so. But it's just me being like, yo, this is the truth. This is the facts. People hate the facts.
Listen, you're absolutely right. And if you're smart,
hold on. Let me finish. I just addressed what he just said. That's I never contradict him because I let my nuts hang. I'm not just stupid. At the end of the day, I got a daughter to make it home to. You know what I'm saying?
Don't you think what you do online is stupid?
Nah, it's not. But listen. So anyway, I show up, right? I show up. Jay's like, yo, the security, there's no security here for you. Like, they don't want. I said, what you mean? They said they don't want, I guess the security there was from 5th Ward. And Texas, and they said they were scared to even tell them to get off stage. Now you calling me to a venue where you want me to get on stage, and the dude is on the mic talking about like, where's 6IX9INE? So you never cleared the stage, blood. Like it was a setup, blood. Like I was built. No, it was yo, blood. Everyone seen it.
But you don't think you caused none of this by getting online, and I'm not checking in and all of this?
Straight up.
But you know, you from Brooklyn. You know, if you have a problem with somebody,
no. Let's go back to Powerhouse. Let's go back to Powerhouse, right? Let's go back to Powerhouse, just so everyone that's watching can understand me, right? We go back to Powerhouse. Y'all there. Future, yeah, headliner. You gonna let somebody that be for Future up your headliner? And you gonna let them be on stage talking about what you gonna do?
Nah, but I'm gonna make sure.
What you gonna do?
I'm gonna make sure if it's my venue, I'm gonna make sure the stage is clear. But
we've had those issues. You make one artist leave because the other artist is coming in because you want to.
Nah, it's not about that. But I don't want no problem. But if you on stage while I'm trying to perform,
right? But you in near town. That's near town. That's like somebody comes out of town to Barclays, right?
That's not that.
You know, you can touch them in your town regardless, easily.
But that's a fact. But for
same thing.
Like that wasn't professional at all, blood. That was like that was so sketchy, blood.
6IX9INE, you're absolutely right, but you're not. You're absolutely right in what you're saying, but you're not professional when you're online antagonizing these people. They're not just showing up for no reason. They don't just hate you because you hot and you got.
Listen, I can say whatever. I can say whatever I want online. Like, you know what I'm saying.
So you got to deal with the consequences.
Nah, I do, and like I said, like I don't feel like. I ain't take no loss. I made it back home. I got paid. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So you still get paid for that, even?
Yeah, but I showed up, bro. I showed up.
You got your back in?
Look, I'm back in everything. I'm with WME, William Morris. You know what I'm saying? I make sure I get my back end, blood. I show up, you pay me. I waste my time. Now, listen to me. You're a grown-ass man. These are grown men. Like, I'm talking about 30 years old, blood. Y'all know. 30 years old, marching the streets looking for a kid with rainbow hair that just went home with 20,000 for just coming to a show, don't even gotta perform.
But you spend a lot of time in Houston, and you gotta go back. You spend a lot of time in Houston.
I spend a lot of money in Houston,
and you do a lot of shows in Houston.
And I do a lot of shows when people.
So now
know
what
me in
happens
Houston.
when you gotta walk around Houston and you wanna, like you said, you got a daughter. You don't wanna walk around and look at your daughter. And
like I said, I walk around. I let my nuts hang, blood. Like I go back to Houston whenever I want. I go back to LA. I can leave this interview right now after this and book a flight to LA.
That would be smart.
What you mean? When I went out to LA, I didn't have no I didn't have no show. I went out there, and I was out there, blood. Like I was out there. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't show up to a lot of your shows, though. Why didn't you show up to some of the shows that you had in LA?
Name the shows since you know so much.
I mean, I don't know the names of them, but they
show up to them. The shows were canceled because the venues were scared.
Right. They were scared that something was going to happen.
They scared that they was going to lose their life. You know what I'm saying? That happened.
You don't think you effing up your money with this tough guy gangster persona?
Nah, I don't know.
I want to talk to one of your OGs. Can we talk to the CEO of the label? Okay, put Trey on the mic. Trey, we've seen this movie before, right? Mm-hmm. Like, don't you think that he's causing a lot of this on himself?
You talk to the mic, Trey.
In a sense, he's expressing himself just like everybody else that gets on the internet. People perceive it to be him. What's the term? Trolling.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. I'm not in his generation. Most of the people in his generation, they do the same thing. This is how the rich, the kids, all the other young millionaires achieve their goals, right? Mm-hmm. Tekashi doesn't get on at no time. I can vouch for it. He doesn't get on the camera. He doesn't get on the internet saying that he's going to kill anybody. He does say he's a blood. He does say he's gangster. He doesn't threaten anybody's life. He doesn't threaten anybody's well-being. With that being said, this is America. We have a freedom of speech. So whether he's on the internet saying I'm gangster, come touch me, come take my chain, that's how he feels and what he wants to promote. In essence, that doesn't say that these guys in LA could say, yo, when you come out here, I'm gonna kill you. Or the guys in Texas, yo, nigga, you gotta check in when you come here. You get what I'm saying? We don't check in nowhere with anybody. Having relationships with somebody is something totally different than checking in. Right now, Junior Prince is he's his father's son.
Exactly. These don't make nothing. Look, and y'all here, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all here. This dude never shot nobody, never did nothing, blood. Living off his father's name, blood. I make my own name, you heard?
But don't you think it affects business? Like when the shows start getting canceled and promoters don't want to book them, don't you think that's when it's time to book them?
Nah, it's not that. Only 2 shows got canceled.
Only 2 shows.
And that was the LA. No matter of fact, one in LA and the one in no, that wasn't canceled. That was
one show in LA.
It was one show in LA.
You from the same era as I am. We've seen this play out before. And there gotta be nothing about him threatening to shoot somebody. Correct. But there's always that, like you said, clout chaser that wants to prove something.
Anybody can get touched.
And that's what my feeling is.
I'm just saying, like, yo, blood, it's not so hard to find me. It's not hard to find me. It's not hard. Yo, boy, it's not hard to find me.
Don't call me a boy, please.
It's not hard to find me. It's not hard to find me at all.
Can I ask a question?
If someone wanted to find me, they would have been found me.
Give it some time.
Nah, blood. Like, I feel like you
even if
you're gonna be waiting a long time, blood.
This how excuse me for a minute. This is how I feel about this, right? Tekashi is the youngest and the hottest guy on the scene right now in the music scene.
They can't name a person that's hotter than me other than Cody.
At all. He came on the scene. He set the.
Hold on, wait. Name one. Name someone. Name somebody hotter than me.
And you mean just from the city? Just from the city?
From the city?
He's hot. I think
Boogie's a fan.
Shout out to the hottest in the city.
Shout out A Boogie, but aside from that,
he's running the game.
I'm running the game.
All he needs right now is the support from the city. You understand? And for people that's not his generation, because most of the hate is coming from the older folks. We don't understand what's going on in their generation. Just like when hip hop started years ago, the older folks didn't understand what was going on in hip hop. Right. We can attest to this, right?
Yeah.
Right. This is a whole new change. They say they're mumble rap and we don't understand their music. Cool. Give it some time for us to understand him. Right? Instead of saying give it some time for somebody to test him.
I'm not a hater of his music at all. I think he actually sounds like Fredro or Sticky Fingers.
Definitely.
Sounds a little Onyx's, yeah.
He definitely sounds it.
Okay, can I ask some more questions? Because I see a lot of things online, obviously, so I just want to address some things that have been put out there. So what about being a Crip and then becoming a Blood? What's the situation with that?
Yeah,
I saw pictures with bandanas around.
Not yet. So basically, you know what I'm saying? Coming into the interview, I told him, like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever situation we got to, where we're going to bring it to the table, bro. Mm-hmm. So, boom. when I was starting making music, and I heard that you are cool with Scum Gang from Flatbush. Academics said that you was cool with.
Oh, actually, no. You know what happened? They called me.
I don't want to give say no name.
They called
you know, it's some group that ran with.
Yeah, they called me one night and they was like, "Yo, I got all this information on 6IX9." I said, "I don't care."
Yeah, but you work with them.
No,
but anyway, listen. So there's this dude right from Flatbush, right? I used to run with them, but nobody could say who I'm crip under. Like who was our crip under? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or everybody's gonna post your pictures of this, and that. Who was our crip under? I live on 18 locusts, bro. You know when I say, yo, 6IX this and 6IX that, it's on my and on my jack. Is looking for me, you can hit my jack. I don't drop my address. You know where 6IX at? I really drop my address. That's why I said it's really not hard to find me, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm always outside, and the hood I live in is Crips and Bloods. So if I'm with Crips and I'm with Bloods, yo, I didn't come home to this year, like, you know what I'm saying? So if people's like, yo, you running with Crips, I'm running with Crips. If you people say you running with Bloods, I'm running with Bloods, and I'm running with both. I'm running with both. Like, they both my homies. You know what I'm saying? Was I ever?
You was flagged up with the blue on though.
Was I ever jacking? Yo, oh, I'm G Stone, or I'm GS9, or I'm, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, yo, these my homies, these my homies. I done been in your homies' videos, like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know these.
Homie, now you don't know. Now you don't know. Now you don't get caught in it.
I don't know no Scum Gang.
The bandana was for nothing, or was just
yeah, like I had the bandana, you know what I'm saying? But when they post a picture, like, who am I under? Like, name Coney, but who was I under? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these things always jacking, he's this, he's that, like, you know what I'm saying? So pull up on me. Like, I haven't met when I one brave soul that came up to me and was like, yo, you fool, you a fake ass gangster, you a rapist, you a this, that, and the third. Nobody got the balls to come up to me and do that, bro. Like, nobody got, you know what I'm saying? It's all the internet and it's all this and all that.
By the way, they did call my phone one night and I said, I don't care. And I actually gave them Academics' number. I said, I'm too old for this shit. Call Academics' number.
Academics said you called him personally.
Academics is a lying ass. Academics gonna get you hurt. I'm gonna tell you why.
Answering to your question, right? Is I was never that in turning blood. If it's just all media, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was never under nobody. I was never, those all my homies. I'm right on Locust, Bushwick, borderline Best Style, right on Myrtle Avenue, right there. That's my hood, Sumner 900.
So what happened with the game? Now what happened with the game?
Bro, I don't know, bro. This man is he got a family, he got kids, right? Why he not taking care of his kids? Like, yo, bro, he worried. Now I'm saying, like, yo, bro, he worried about the wrong things. Like, yo.
Check his nigga next week.
Yo, his career, like, is like he trying to spark it, like, you know, like a old marriage. He trying to spark it up. Like, it's over, bro. Like, hang it up. What you doing? Like, I'm looking for a circle.
Are you a registered sex offender?
Nah, I'm not. But I'm not. You could actually look it up. You have a computer right there.
Yeah, I did. That's why I asked. Because I mean, you can't believe nothing you see on the internet.
Somebody sent a letter up here actually about you, right? With charges against you, and I guess it was something with you were 18 years old.
Yeah. And now look at this, right? Right? If I came, all right. So look at it like this. How old are you? Like 40 something?
Almost 40. Yeah.
Look like this, right? say 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, right? Say 3 years ago. I'm 21 now. Say 3 years ago, right? I come up, like, you know what I'm saying? I had a underage girl in the video, right? And you know, it happens. You know what I'm saying? You know, girls lie about ages. Everyone knows this, right?
She was 14.
A lot of people get caught up in this, right? Yeah. Now I come out with this. I get in trouble for this crime, right? I'm totally remorseful for the situation, and it happens, right? Now,
what happened?
Say no.
Yeah, tell them what happened.
I'm gonna say it. But say he comes out, right, with the same charge, right, at the age of him,
into the mic,
right, at the age he's at right now. This is how nasty the media is. This is how nasty. This how nasty the media tries to paint a picture and violate. This is what the system does to youth, right? This is what the system does. Now I'm an 18-year-old kid, right? With my life in front of me. Of course, like if I didn't rap and none of this shit would have mattered. But now that I do rap and I'm actually like somebody, when these charges come up, it's like, oh my God, he's a monster. You know what I'm saying? But paint it to where the people don't see like, yo, the kid is a kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, and got caught up in some shit. When people comment under my pedophile and all that shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm so numb to it, right? Because I know what I am and I know who I am, you know what I'm saying? Now, say if I would understand if I was his age, you know what I'm saying? And I caught that charge and it would look disturbing, like, you know what I'm saying? I would be like, what the f***? But I think the media don't see it like, yo, this kid got caught up in some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like bringing other artists' business to the shit, like, you know what I'm saying, to relate to myself. But how many people out there get caught in some shit where a girl lie about her age? There was no sexual intercourse between me and a female at all. It was just I got arrested for being in the situation.
Did you plead guilty? You pled guilty, right?
I pled guilty like this quick, blood.
Why?
I was scared, blood. I didn't have no money. I was poor. Like, this was 3. I wasn't rapping. Like, I wasn't on some like hot shit. It was like, yo, you know, this girl was missing and she's this age and she's in foster care and her family's trying to find her. When I'm hearing this, my heart is sinking to my stomach, and I'm like, my girl was pregnant at the time, and I'm like, and it was like talking 15 years. They was talking mad shit. Blood, I didn't have no money for an attorney. I didn't have nothing. I was scared, blood. I was like, yo, I'm taking this trial, fighting it. They said, yo, if you blow trial, it's
15 years.
No, more, blood. Like,
she was dancing. She was dancing on video or something.
Yeah, it was just like, yo, I don't know if you ever saw a video of me back in the day when I pedigreed this girl. And you never seen that? Like, I did this wrestling move on this girl. That was back in the day when I was doing. Yeah,
that's ain't funny. Why'd you pedigree a girl?
I don't know. I was doing viral. I was literally mad at the track. Now I was obviously playing. Like, it went viral. It was on World Star. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like when I pled guilty, I was just scared. It was just me going through the jail system for the first time, and it was just like, yo, my life changed like this.
So does that make you a registered sex offender now because you did plead guilty?
Nah, I'm a youth. I was a youth. I got a youth offender.
Okay.
And they, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Nah.
What happened in LA with the LA fight? What was that about? And why did you jump in?
Oh, they're my guys.
They was from.
Now, Aquelio was my guy. So I don't know about no scum gang people, but Aquelio was my guy.
Who the dude that got his face torn up?
I don't know.
You saw the butterfly stitches he had that it was like torn, like it was like 3 inches. I think I got the picture.
Now, from my understanding, was that over?
Man? With the butterfly stitches?
I don't know about
that. Nah, he not your man.
No, listen to me. Remember when you reported the story? Remember when you reported the story?
Yo, is he your man or not?
It's a bunch of them. I don't know who exactly was there.
Yo, once I mentioned butterfly stitches, I don't know which one, but you know, which one is your man?
I don't know who got cut.
Oh, alright. So basically, these dudes not from LA. I guess it was over some girls. I guess my man.
His sister, she was walking to the airport.
I was disrespectful with my man.
Oh, your man, somebody.
I don't know. I just know once my man's was out there, but it wasn't like no LA dudes. It was literally some dudes from out of town that was coming in for All-Star Weekend, picking up some girls, and I guess my man was helping them. It was some regular shit, like, you know, regular.
I don't dislike your music. I'm just concerned about you as an individual.
I think you need to stop being concerned about me and be concerned for someone else.
You're 21 and you got influence over these kids, and I think that you might be putting the wrong.
But nah, I'm not, bro. You know what? I think all y'all see is what y'all want to see, cause there's a lot of stuff I do for the kids that I extend my hands.
Well, academics start posting that shit instead of posting all.
Nah, academics do what you want. Academics is actually a good friend of mine. Like, shout out academics.
You ever seen Lean on Me?
Nah, that shit. That's mad long ago, man. Like,
I don't know why he asked you that.
Lean on Me. Joe Clark said, if you don't change your ways, you be dead in a year, son.
Alright, well, I'm here to stay. Like, you will see me in 2069, man. Like, I'm here, man. I'm here to stay.
You'll be dead too.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Anyway,
How old would I be in 2069? I'm like 80 something.
Alright, well, it's Tekashi 6IX9. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Straight up.
Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club.
Hey, listen, man, I'm too old for a lot of the nonsense that happens in the world today, okay? So, everybody say a prayer for Tekashi 6IX9.
We did.
Hope for the best for him. But, I think he'll be dead in a year.
Nah, I wouldn't say that.
I don't think so. Like that in the
And he's a genuinely nice guy.
He is a nice guy.
If you meet him, he's actually a genuinely nice guy. He's got good energy. You know what I'm saying? So, but all of that trolling, why get hurt over trolling?
Yeah, let's not put death in the atmosphere.
I ain't putting death in the atmosphere. I'm just telling you what could happen.
I think it's this generation of social media. They think it's cool. There's no repercussions.
Nobody is being held accountable for their actions. I'm trying to tell you something. The things that happen online will affect your life offline.
All right. Well, let's get to the rumors. Let's talk R&B singer Kevin McCall.
Well, Kevin McCall was posting on Instagram. He wants people to know that he's not crazy and he doesn't want to do anything that might reflect that. He said he's one of the nicest people on earth, but when you get to messing with people's children, it's boundaries. Now he goes on to say that he is a ticking time bomb. Listen to what he said.
Even Marcel Pickford, I'm sorry I dumped you. I'm sorry I left you and I kept the 4-bedroom apartment. And when I got evicted, you got sued as well. I'm sorry you were mean to my daughter Genesis and I left you. But don't lie on me, please.
He also said, I keep trying to warn y'all about my mental stability as it pertains to my children being legally kidnapped. They are keeping my children from me and I can't do anything in court without paying at least $2,000 to various groups that provide assistance. After a while, somebody gonna just get hurt because my babies are hurting without me and vice versa. Here's more of what he had to say about being in fear.
About everything I said yesterday, and I just want to say, man, I meant all that shit. Not playing. You know what I'm saying? I got people every day when I walk around the street, people think I'm a woman beater. I'm in fear of my life.
So he said he's in fear of his life right now, and he's telling Eva Marcel, please come clean for the world. I'm begging you to tell the truth. We can do this court-ish too, but why waste any more time and money than you already have? Queen, knock this ish off. I'm done with this game. My baby damn near 5 years old. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I mean, kids need both parents, unless, of course, one of the parents is unstable. But other than that, kids need both parents.
Right, he says that the media has been manipulating against him. I don't know what the real story is.
No, I don't think anybody knows. And Kevin McCall usually texts me around this time to ask me something, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I hope they work it out though for the kid.
Listen, the kid has to be top priority. Your daughter has to be the #1 priority. Forget how y'all feel about each other. You got to do what's best. All right, French Montana. This is some good news. He talked about his journey after going to Uganda in March of 2017. He said after some personal setbacks, he lost the motivation to make music and he was looking for something to fill that void. And he found it while shooting the video for Unforgettable with Sway Lee. Here's what he had to say.
When I went to Uganda, I was looking for some motivations and just saw how happy the people is in Uganda with, you know, probably not even a quarter of what we have here. It just made me realize that happiness is within. You'll never be rich unless you're rich in heart. I went to this hospital, Toby Hospital. You know, they had 2 rooms in there for 300,000 people. God was just giving me signs that I have to do something to help these people. We got with Mama Hope and Global Citizen, and now they building it. They about to have like a full hospital. And I just feel proud that, you know, I saved myself and saved a lot of people.
That's dope. Drop the clues, Bob, for French Montana, damn it.
I think that's really, really awesome. So he raised over $500,000 to benefit the health center, and he broke ground on his hospital as well.
No, French has come a long way, man. I remember when French just used to be a dirty Bronx Negro in Dame Grease studio out there in Yonkers, YO area. That's when I used to carry a gun on me back in those days. I was stupid.
Well, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your rumor report.
All right, thank you, Miss Yee. Charlamagne, who are you giving your donkey to?
Donkey of the day is going to a young lady named Brianna Lofton. You know, we're talking about kids not being held accountable for their actions. We're talking about, you know, the things kids do online not affecting them in real life offline, and that's why they keep doing them. Well, Brianna got some consequences to her actions, and we'll talk about them for after the hour.
All right, that's next. Keep it locked.
Also, let them know Roxanne Shante gonna be here next
hour. That's right. I'm excited for that.
Store some order to this goddamn show.
We'll kick it with Roxanne Shante next as well. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Well, don't donkey today for Friday, March 23rd goes to a 20-year-old woman from Raleigh, North Carolina named Brianna Ashanti Lofton. Now, Brianna is one of these people who still doesn't realize that the internet is the real world. Why do y'all keep acting like what you do online doesn't affect your life online? It's just beyond me why y'all don't understand that. So you see, what I'm realizing about these kids is they don't realize what they do on the internet is the cause, okay, and the consequences they experience because of what they did online is the effect, all right? Brianna Ashanti Lofton is 20 years old, and she just recently learned that the hard way. See, Brianna is the latest person, but certainly not the last, to snitch on herself via social media. Brianna was doing something she absolutely had no business doing. And you know how when you're on social media and you see somebody doing something super incriminating and you say to yourself, damn, I wish the police would come lock their dumb ass up. Well, for those of us who have ever uttered those words ourselves, Brianna made our dreams come true. Let's go to WTBD ABC 11 for the report, please.
RPD posting that big thank you to all those Facebook crime solvers out there who helped lead them to that apartment in Northeast Raleigh where mom was allegedly introducing her 1-year-old baby to weed smoking. Police say it's 20-year-old Brianna Lofton's hand in this video, appearing to put a lit marijuana blunt into her 1-year-old baby's mouth in Northeast Raleigh. The video going viral when a man in Rochester, New York shared it on his page, urging police to get involved. Just hours later, Lofton was arrested by Raleigh police, booked on 2 counts of felony child abuse, forcing her baby to smoke pot. The baby, by the way, is now in the custody of Child Protective Services.
Now, I bet any amount of money 20-year-old Brianna is telling her friends that somebody in Rochester snitched on her. Never mind the fact she let her 1-year-old child smoke weed on video. Don't even worry about that part. That's perfectly normal. The problem isn't that she let her 1-year-old child smoke weed. The problem is that somebody shared the video. I guarantee you she is telling her people that she got snitched on because these kids nowadays don't believe in consequences and repercussions for their actions. What are those? Nobody is held accountable for their actions in this era, and I am all for cyber crime stopping, by the way. Social media snitching, drop on the clues bombs for that. All right? If you see something, share something with your local authorities, all right? Send it right to their Facebook page. All right? We are not going to make the world a better place if we dismiss the BS we see in the world just because it's via the internet. I truly think we see so much nonsense online that it's normalized, you know, but it's not normal. So when I see people like Brianna get locked up for letting that 1-year-old smoke weed, it warms my cold heart. I love it. Only sad part is Brianna is in the Wake County Detention Center. No, that's not the sad part. That's what she needs to be. The only sad part is the baby has been placed with Wake County Child Protective Services. Another young black child is now in the system because his mama wanted likes, retweets, comments, and clout. Please let me give Brianna Ashanti Lofton the biggest hee-haw, please.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. You stupid motherfucker. Are you dumb?
I keep trying to tell y'all the things you do online gonna get you messed up offline. That's all we was trying to tell Tekashi 6IX9INE, all more 9.
She don't need to have a child. How old is that child again?
What?
That child.
Try one clues bomb for me. You hear the white boy?
I heard you say balls.
Okay, we describe morning with 9.
White people will always love him. Yeah. Black people will run.
Yeah.
The kid was 1.
1 year.
1 year old, and she got him puffing, inhaling.
She don't need to have
marijuana.
Take that child away forever.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
That's the sad part. They are gonna take the little kid away from her.
But they should. In that situation, they should. That wasn't a mistake. And that kid looked like he knew how to smoke.
I'm
like
with you, but
he did before.
That system ain't gonna do nothing for him. But I'm with you.
She.
All right. Well, thank you for that dog kid today. When we come back, let's clear everything out.
Let's throw some
get some zen or whatever we need to do.
Salute to Pastor Brian Houston the Hillsong for coming in here and praying for Tekashi 6IX9INE too. Yeah, we got to keep the energy right. You know, we try.
All right. Now, when we come back, Roxanne Shante will be joining us. She has a new documentary.
It's a Netflix. It's a movie based on her life that Mimi Valdez and Pharrell and Forest Whitaker produced, right?
Right. She's from Queens, New York.
I don't know Forest Whitaker, but yeah.
One of the first female rappers out there. We're going to kick it with her when we come back, so don't move.
And she's got the young lady who plays her in the movie, Shantae Adams, with her.
Okay. So Breakfast Club, good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got some special guests in the building. First, a legend.
Yes, royalty, rap royalty.
Absolutely, from Queens, New York, Roxanne Shante.
Yes.
Please believe it.
Absolutely.
And we have a young lady who played Roxanne Shante in the new flick, Shantae Adams.
Yes.
Hello, guys.
Now, does her name have to be Shantae?
Isn't that something?
That's a requirement.
You know, I'm trying to tell you now, her parents put that together for me.
Wow.
Isn't that nice?
Absolutely.
She was born for the part.
Were you looking for that for real?
Like, really, we groomed her from birth. Who can say that they've done that?
But this
I worked it out with her mom and dad. Like, listen, you know, make me a Shantae. So we're ready to do this.
No, but I've been so excited. We've been talking about the movie coming out on Netflix March 23rd, Roxanne,
yes.
which I think is great that you guys decided to do. I know Pharrell is one of the producers. So
yes,
how did that even come about?
Well, actually, I met Mimi Valdez and Nina Bon Jovi, and they approached me, and we were at an event, and I was hosting an event, and they were like, look, we want to make a movie, you know, and I host quite a few events. You know, I still work every weekend, so I do a lot of hosting. And so, you know, some of the places you go, people will say things, and I was like, wow, you know, this must be some really strong alcohol here, because like they're talking about, yeah, we're going to make a movie. And I'm like, yeah, sure, we're going to make a movie. Let's do it. So I said, here, take my number, because there was something about that spiritual connection when you automatically meet with someone, and you know how it is when you're in the industry and you meet with people. Sometimes you could tell this is going to go through, and then sometimes you could tell when it's not. And that feeling that I got from them from the very first time they said it out their mouth, I knew it was going to happen.
And Mimi Valdez bought Hidden Figures to Pharrell.
Yes,
and she also, I remember her from editor-in-chief of Vibe magazine. So that was your first time meeting Mimi?
No, I had actually met Mimi before then. You know, of course, because you know, in the hip hop, you know, world is very small. A certain level of it is very small. So we meet each other and we cross paths. But when I seen her again, and she was discussing the whole fact of the movie with me, the next morning we actually met, had breakfast, and then it just went on from there.
Wow.
And I mean, when I said it went on from there, within 18 months, we're here.
I always looked up to you. I was going to say, I always looked up to you when I was growing up. And I was trying to think about it when I found out this movie was happening. Has there ever been like a beef between where a woman responds to a man that tries to play her, like with Roxanne with the UTFO crew when they first did the Roxanne song?
Right.
And then you responded, and I'm trying to think in history, has that happened where a woman does like a diss record back to the guy that's talking ish?
Well, you know what, I
can't think of one.
I'm sure Remy Ma has done one before.
Nah, I mean, Queen Latifah was talking about some guys we didn't know.
But it's a specific response to a diss record from men.
You know what? I don't know. Like, I guess I wouldn't be able to say. I mean, there has been some other response records throughout history, as far as like people would make. I don't want to call them parodies, but they would actually make certain response records. Like, "It's Good to Be the King" was a record, and then there was "It's Good to Be the Queen" came out behind it, and then I think Millie Jackson did a response record to some other record, "Get Into It," and then she came out with one. So no, but I think it wasn't really heard of until Roxanne's Revenge, where everyone could really just be able to identify with the young girl walking down the street. You know, if you're in the projects and you're dealing with that on a day-to-day basis, and being able to just respond like that, everyone put themselves in a position to be Roxanne.
Right. Now, Shantae, did you have to do a crash course on all this stuff?
I did.
Hell yes, you did.
Crash course in my life. I mean, I wasn't born until 10 years after the movie, what we cover in the movie actually takes place. So as soon as I got the audition, I just like went hardcore research on the internet of everything Roxanne Shantae.
Did you ask anybody around you, like your parents?
Yes, I'm the youngest of 4, and I have 2 older siblings who are hardcore hip hop fans from that era. And so my oldest brother and older sister, they were the people I called immediately and was like, hey, what you know about Roxanne Shantae? And my sister, she's the oldest, and she's like, I remember being in the mirror and like hearing this little girl on the radio for the first time and learning all these words and being like, I'm a rapper and I'm a girl, and that being such a big thing for the 80s. So yeah, they were like, they were my sources that I went to.
It's interesting how God works though, because we just in this time of like women empowerment, especially women of color, and that story, your story has always been a woman's empowerment story. Why do you think it happened now? Why do you think the universe lined it up like that?
Well, you know what, I think what it is that a lot of times certain messages need to have a certain push behind them. And when you throw certain things out into the universe, you're going to find that those things come back just at the perfect time. Because people would say all the time, like, okay, well, you know what, you haven't made a record in 30 years, no secret. You still tour, but you still, you know, you do venues and your hostings and everything like that. What would make a Roxanne Shantae movie come out now? And the thing about it is, it's because it's the woman's time now.
Right.
And though it has always been the woman's time, it's time to come into the forefront, time to show the strength, time to show what we're made of, also to have that story told. And now you have women of strength in order to be the voice for some women who feel they can't speak up. So this movie will serve that purpose, where they can sit back and say, okay, you know what, I was that little girl in the group home. I was that little girl who went through that. I was that little girl who had daddy issues, or I was that woman who went through depression and went through a heartache or a heartbreak. So it's a time for us to be able to see that story being told, not just told to each other, because we always tell each other the story.
Right.
You know, as women, we sit here, girl, let me tell you what happened to me today, or sister, let me have one of these sister talks with you. But now it was just time to let the world know. And so I think this is why the timing came about.
What made you give up hip hop? Because you were short-lived with recording. What made you say, you know what, this is not for me?
It was not financially beneficial for me.
At the time?
At the time. Right. It is good now.
It's good now, right?
Let me take that back. Before you first start changing the chains, let me make sure I take that one back.
Right.
But no, one of the things about it is that at that time, it was not financially beneficial for me. And I had a lot of responsibility. Not only was I already a parent, already had my son, but I was responsible for my sisters. Mm-hmm. So being responsible for family members, I needed things that were financially lucrative for me. And at that time, it wasn't. I was a battle rapper. I had no intentions of making records. It just so happens that Marley Marl, who happened to be one of the greatest hip-hop producers, lived across the street right above the laundromat, and I was going to do laundry. And he was like, listen, come and do a freestyle for me. And that's how this came about. There was no demo. There was no looking around for record companies. Everything literally came to me the same way how the movie came. So it's just about the things that take place in the universe. And then how she walked into my life. Like, just literally, I had my niece graduated from Carnegie Mellon, because now you have to understand, now she's perfectly trained. This is not something like, oh yeah, we just pick somebody. She was really literally made for the part. She graduated from Carnegie Mellon. What was it, a week before the movie?
About 5 weeks before we started shooting.
5 weeks before we started shooting is when she had just graduated. But basically, she only had how many days? 8 days?
8 days.
Before the film started, and did a wonderful job. And then breakout artists. Come on, breakout artists. Breakout artists.
Thank you.
Was any of your nieces mad that they didn't get the role?
No, you know what it is? Because, no, they weren't, because my nieces, their major was in drama.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went to school and graduated with her niece.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So no, my niece went for politics and political science and things like that. So no, they didn't want to do that. But are they in the movie? Yes.
Do you feel like, being in the music career, that you never appreciated like you should have been? Like somebody, like, you look at hip hop and they don't mention you that much as they should.
I mean, for me, I go back Salt and Pepper. When I think female rappers.
Right, and that's a problem.
I mean, I'm very familiar. Right. But I'm saying when people talk about female rap, it don't seem to go back no farther than Salt and Pepper.
Right. Well, do I? No.
Why not?
And the reason why is because, Roxanne Shante has never looked or searched for the accolades from others. I've been very confident with that. I've always walked with a certain confidence. So I didn't need anyone to validate me. I validate myself every morning. So I didn't need validation from anyone. So I didn't need anyone to say, okay, well, Roxanne Shante started this. If you know that you've started something, then there's no need for anyone to tell you what you've started. See, a lot of people need that validation. But I was blessed to already have that within myself. So I didn't need that. So when people say, oh, they're doing this hip-hop show, and I'm like, okay, that's great. And I've never been angry. See, and that's where the blessings come in, because I've never been an angry person. So I don't see others who have, achieved certain things and say, okay, well, that should have been mine. That should have been mine. That should have been mine. Because that is really a horrible stigma that they have on old school artists, that they feel like we're all angry, or we're all hungry, or we're all angry or mad, and we're not. So when you have ones like me, that's when opportunities like a movie comes along out of nowhere, a Netflix deal comes along out of nowhere, and people say, well, how did that happen? And you say, well, how could it not? Because I've always been able to wait my turn and understand that when it's time for Roxanne Shante, it's time for Roxanne Shante. And when it's time for others, it is time for me to be supportive and be supportive of others. And so that's what I do, and that's how I live life.
Now, let me ask you this. To be accurate, though. Right.
We want history to be accurate, absolutely, and that's the reason why we must tell our own stories, but we don't get the opportunity to do so. So, if you feel that sometimes hip-hop, they'll say, well, females in hip-hop started with Salt and Pepper. And honestly, the plateau that they took hip hop to, you must understand. I took, okay, before me there was Chirac. So let's say Chirac had it in the park.
Right.
Then I took it from the park and I put it on wax.
Right.
Then I took it from then with me putting it on wax, Salt and Pepper took it to the stadiums, and then from the stadiums, you know, Nikki took it to a certain level. Arenas. And then from arenas, let's just say Remy took it to merchandising and branding, and then you know Cardi took it to pop charts and this one. So everyone comes in and makes their contribution, and you need to understand where you are your contributor, where you contribute the most. So if mine was the beginning, if it was my job to hold the door open, somebody else's job to walk in, somebody else's job to sit at the desk, and the other person's job to make the deal, then so be it.
That's right.
It's when you come out of that, that's when the problem starts.
But everybody gets celebrated. We want to make sure you do as well. Cardi does, Nikki, Foxy.
Oh, she got a movie.
Yeah, she got a movie. About time, right?
So for people who don't know the story, right, how did the diss record come about? Because in my eyes as a child, I thought you really was going at them. I didn't know it was like an orchestrated type of thing where they knew that.
You explain the full story. There's a lot of kids out there that have no idea
what's going on. That's why I'm asking her to explain it now. So can you talk about how it actually came about and what happened?
Okay. Well, I had just recently had returned out of the group home, which is no secret. Most people know that. So one of the things about it was being in Queensbridge Public Housing, which is the largest housing project in the world. There's always going to be music. There was always music around. So DJ Molly Mall, who happened to be one of the greatest producers, lived above the laundry. So I was going to do my laundry one day. He called out the window. He was like, "Listen, Shiny, I heard," because they call me Shiny. "Listen, Shiny, I heard that you a great battle rapper. Come up here. I got this beat. I want to hear you spit something on it." When I came to his house, he was playing the big beat, which was boom, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap. So I said, he's like, "Yeah, you heard that new Roxanne record?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Listen, spit something for me real quick." I said, "Okay." "Well, my name is Roxanne. Don't you know?" So it was a complete freestyle, 7-minute freestyle, because I was known to be very well at telling stories that made sense.
Right.
So he was like, "Okay, we gave her a subject. The subject was Roxanne. She created Roxanne." I left it alone. Went back downstairs, completely doing my laundry. The next day, in the middle of the night, rather, someone had called me because he was on another radio station at the time, and he had played the record on the radio. And he called my house in the middle of the night. Now I come from a time when there was only one phone in the house, and that was like by the kitchen with that long cord that rang really loud. So I'm racing to the phone because it's like I'm hoping nobody's prank calling or anything like that, because me and my mom's, it was like one of those moments at the time. So I grabbed the phone. They're like, "Are you on the radio?" I hung up, and I remember that whole entire night sitting there by the phone to make sure, because you had to pinch it out to make sure it didn't ring.
I remember that.
Yeah, because if you kept it pinched in, still gonna ring. If you have a thing that it was still gonna ring. Right. So you had to just pinch it out. No slide, no lever. So, and I pinched it out, and I'm standing there, and I was saying to myself, like, "Wow, I wonder what I sound like on the radio." The next day, when I walked out of my building, I was Roxanne Shante.
Damn.
Wow.
That's fast.
He was on BLS then, right?
No, he was on WHBI, where you had to have the hanger and put the hanger in the window and try to tune the radio station. So it was one of those radio stations that I guess one of the late night, after midnight type stations. But you would stay up because this was the love of hip hop. Everyone would stay up late at night, and you would have the radio turned down so low so that you could record the show, because you couldn't play it loud. That's respectful for homes. It's like back in the days when you couldn't play your radio as loud as you wanted to any time of night. So you would listen to the radio and you would record the show, so everyone would record it, and they recorded it that night. And the next day, people would play it on their radio, and that's how it spread.
Young Shante, that's the equivalent of trending now.
I'm getting trending.
Now you said you didn't get money back then. Was it because people didn't know the music business?
You know what? People take full advantage of what you don't know, especially when you come into the industry. And I went into the industry with blinders on, literally just not knowing, but it was also a blessing for me. People say, "Well, aren't you angry at the fact that they didn't pay you or they didn't give you the things that you were supposed to get?" Honestly, no, I'm not, because 14 years old, I was making enough money to buy sheepskins for everybody. Everybody could shop on Delancey. Everybody had brand new sneakers. My rent was paid, and the kids had food. So I didn't have enough money left over to get high, use drugs, and do those things. So sometimes some things are a blessing in disguise. And that happened to be one of them.
That record sold, though.
Yeah, it did.
And now I gotta ask you this. There was also the real Roxanne.
Yes.
And that got confusing.
Yes.
Because there was Roxanne Shante, and then there was the real. So was that real beef, or was?
You know, I guess what it was with that was the fact that the record company saw how much money the Roxanne's Revenge was making, so they wanted to create their own Roxanne. So they was like, listen, we have our own Roxanne that we, you know, and she's the real Roxanne. And to prove to you that she's the real Roxanne, first things first, they started to tell everything that they knew about me. So they was like, well, no one would really go after a girl from the group home. She has all this bushy hair. Like at that time, I had like this wild bushy hair, and you know, I had like a little bit of a tomboy edge to me. So they were like, no, that's not the type of girl that they would go after. They would go after this light-skinned girl with, you know, with the straight hair, and this is the real Roxanne. We don't know who the other Roxanne is. So, you know, and then what I did, because I was a battle rapper by nature. And then also, you know, there were certain things about me that would allow me to be like, okay, well, listen, where's she going to be at? I'm going to go to a show. And then if she pick up the microphone, you know, I'm going to get her. Or if, you know, I'm going to pull out plugs and do this. So that's the reason why she was having a difficulty performing. Because I would show up and show
make
out.
them nervous.
Baby,
That pressure on them.
And this was real. This wasn't.
And that wasn't orchestrated at all. You know. Now me and Kango happen to be very good friends, but back then we really weren't. You know, and it was one of those things like, okay, well, you could get it too. You know, we had that type of mentality then, and they wanted to make sure that people felt that, okay, we're going to divide and conquer. This is what we're going to do. We're going to make everybody think this is the real Roxanne. And it caused a whole whirlwind as far as even promoters. Because when they would book her and she would get up there, they'd be like, man, that ain't the Roxanne that I wanted.
Right.
You know?
Damn it, man.
Yeah, it was confusing.
You know what I'm saying?
I was like, okay, what's going on here?
I don't even know what she looked like. How about that?
You know, there were two of them. They actually had two of them. They had one that was the real Roxanne, and then they had one that they came up with. They called her, no, they said the original Roxanne, then they came up with the real Roxanne. So one was a light-skinned one, and then when the light-skinned girl didn't work out well enough, they went and got a Spanish girl.
So all this is in the movie, right? All this is in the movie?
No, some of it is in the movie. Yes, you have to see the movie. Yes.
Did you rap? Did you rap?
I mean, I don't really call myself a rapper, you know.
Did you try? Did you have a rap name?
Oh, can we hear you? Can we hear you spit a Roxanne Shante verse?
You got to.
What you want to hear?
Roxanne's Revenge, of course. That's it.
Well, my name is Roxanne.
Hey.
Don't you know? I just a cold rock a party and I do this show.
Wow.
What did you learn about the culture doing this? Because that's what I'm very intrigued by. What are the kids going to learn from watching this film?
I think they're going to learn their history or her story about, you know, females in the rap game. I hope that female rappers of my generation who are my age look at this Roxanne Shante story and know that they aren't alone, that you know, whatever they're going through, they can overcome it. And I think that's what she represents, and just for women in general too, and not just the female rappers. But I'm really excited for my generation to be able to see this movie so that they can know about her and know about the music that they love, where their inspiration comes from.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing this Netflix.
I can't wait. I know what I'm doing this weekend.
Roxanne.
A lot of pressure on you, Shante Adams.
Just a little bit.
A lot of pressure.
And you got to work with Nia Long on your first feature in the movie.
I did on my first movie.
And
Mahershala Ali.
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You're blessed.
I couldn't have asked for a better cast.
Right. Bigger and better things for you. Well, not better, but big things for
There
you.
you go.
Thank you.
And Roxanne Shante and Shante Adams, thank you.
Thank
and
you.
I look forward to seeing it.
Please believe it, baby.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Why? I just don't like it.
You don't like Post Malone.
That is a fact. I don't.
But you like 21 Savage?
But you like
I
21
love
Savage.
drop one of Clues bombs to 21 Savage. I love 21 Savage. God damn it.
All right. Morning, everybody. It's DJ
Colonizer.
Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. All right, let's get to the rumors. Let's talk Jacquees. Rumor has it. Rumor has it.
So Jacquees got into it with the cops on South Beach. Now, it was spring break, of course, so a lot of people were outside watching. He ended up getting arrested for allegedly driving without a seatbelt. Now, here's what he had to say. Because he did refuse to show his license, the officer told him, get out of the car. They said he was yelling, do not touch me.
Oh, they manhandled the ish out of him.
Yes, they did. So here's what he said.
What's up, this is Jacquees, and I'm just here to let all my fans and people who support me know that I am physically and mentally okay. The excessive force used during my arrest for not wearing my seatbelt was ridiculous. However, at this time, I have been advised not to speak on the situation and to allow my legal representatives to look at the situation and just handle it however they feel is necessary.
Wow, he read that verbatim. Drop on the clue about Jacquees. He did not take one eye off that script at all.
His lawyer wrote that one.
Yeah, absolutely. He read that verbatim.
The officer even called for backup and yanked his arm pretty hard. If you guys saw the video.
You can't do that. I don't know if he could sue, but that officer should definitely be written up. You can't just.
Well, he is gearing up for a lawsuit now, potential lawsuit.
He should.
He said the officer did get rough with him during the traffic stop, and he was
crazy.
Yeah, so.
The sad part about this situation, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, you know, in light of everything that we see in this country, he's good. It's good that he only got manhandled. You know what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't be thinking that way.
You thinking like, yeah, he could have got shot.
Yeah, but I shouldn't be thinking that way. He shouldn't even have been manhandled. I'd be like, well, okay, he just got manhandled, fine.
Because he was in cuffs. It wasn't like he had to be manhandled.
And
he
there was
in
a
cuffs.
whole lot of spring breakers watching all of the activity on South Beach. All right, now let's talk about Bill Cosby. The judge who is overseeing Bill Cosby's sex assault case has ruled that people cannot wear anything or display anything that would be interpreted as siding either with him or against him. So they said persons attending the proceedings are not permitted to wear, possess, or display anything that would demonstrate support for or opposition to either side of the proceedings.
So I couldn't wear a Cosby Show dad hat or a Different World dad hat?
No, you cannot.
Like my man Talento makes? Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can't wear any of those
Can
things.
I eat Jell-O in the courtroom?
No.
No.
But you can't eat a pudding pop and let it
A
drip
pudding
down your
pop? Can I
mouth.
eat a pudding pop? Shut up, E.T. That's why.
All right, Spike Lee is launching his first online filmmaking class. So if you're interested in making movies, you can go online and sign up for his class. He's been teaching filmmaking in regular classrooms for nearly 30 years, so now he's opening it up to everybody. Now he said there are no absolute truths in filmmaking and no one way to be a filmmaker. I've learned in 30 years things that I can give back. I'm teaching this masterclass because very few people get to sit in my classes at NYU, so this is an opportunity for me to share what I've learned with as many students as possible, no matter where they are in their film career. That's nice, and it's about...
Yes, dropping a clues bomb for Spike Lee, man.
And if you pre-register the online class, it's $90 for lifetime access.
Oh, I can't wait till therapy at 3 o'clock. I can't wait.
Why?
Because people are texting me about this 6IX9INE interview. Somebody just texted me. I don't know who number this is, and they say, I got DMs trying to prove that this N-word was trying his hardest to be a Crip. What I text back? What I text back?
You said send them through.
What I text back? I don't care! In capital letters. I am old. I am a father.
Can I finish my
okay?
rumor report?
A husband. I don't care about 6IX9INE trying to be a Crip.
Can I finish my rumor report? Last thing I have to say, because this is good news and I want to end it on a high note, okay? Gucci and Beyonce are bringing clean water to Africa.
Dropping a clue bomb for Gucci Mane and Beyonce.
It's
not Gucci Mane.
It's Gucci.
The clothing store.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Okay.
This guy knows everything.
So they're doing this alongside UNICEF, their campaign, Time for Change. They're pledging $1 million for Beyonce. She's trying to provide the East African country of Burundi with more than 100 freshwater wells for up to 366,000 women and children by 2020.
Well, you know I'm a Pickett Smith Winfrey Knows caller, so drop one of clues bombs for Beyonce.
That's dope.
All right, let's go. I got therapy at 3 o'clock this afternoon. I ain't got time for all of this. You know what I'm saying? I just want to write my books and,
you can
do my nationally syndicated radio show, executive produce these TV shows.
All right, everybody DM Charlamagne any information
DM me nothing
you have
about
on
no damn
Tekashi
Tekashi
6IX9INE right
I
now.
don't care.
He wants it all.
Send it to the young boys.
Everybody put
Send
a
it to
rainbow
academics, them.
in
Don't send me
Charlamagne's
that.
comments.
Don't do that to me.
Everybody put
Put it in his box.
rainbows.
Don't do that to me.
Put a rainbow in his
Don't do that
box
to me.
right now. That's right.
Don't do that. I accept rainbows from the LGBT community. That's about it.
Rainbow hair.
Don't
Put
do
that
to
all
me.
in Charlamagne's
Don't do that to
comments.
me.
Rainbows.
Don't
I'm
do
going to
that
set
to
it
me.
off.
Don't do that to me.
All right, that is your rumor report. Now, earlier, Angela Yee said that Jeezy announced that he is retiring.
That's my era. Dropping clues bombs for Jeezy.
Thug Motivation.
One of my top 7 favorite rappers of all time.
What we're going to do is... we're going to do a Jeezy
Here
mix
we
this
go.
morning.
That's what I like. Now,
We're going to
this type of action
celebrate
I like.
Jeezy.
Here we go.
585-1051. But before we're going to start off with the Tekashi record.
You're such a pander.
I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. You don't even know the word. Oh, Jeezy. Let me know your favorite Jeezy joint right now at the Breakfast Club. Good morning.